Okay, how bad will the lockdown be for the alcohol business? Over the past 6 weeks, the group has been just hammered. Constellation Brands, the maker of Modelo, Pacifico, and the inaptly named Corona, along with a host of wine and liquor brands, has seen its stock plummet from 210 to 132. Now, some of that makes sense. In normal times, Constellation does brisk business supplying bars and restaurants, most of which are now closed. But at the same time, we've seen a massive surge in consumer alcohol sales because how else are you going to cope with this darn lockdown? So Wall Street was hoping for some enlightenment when Constellation reported this morning, and the actual results were phenomenal. For the period ending in February, the company posted a monster 42-cent earnings beat off a $1.64 basis, much higher than expected sales, up 6% year-over-year. Beer business in particular did very well. However, management declined to provide forward guidance because we have no idea how long the lockdown will last. Without clarity in the future, the stock got hit in the morning, but later rallied in the afternoon after the conference call was completed and managed to end positive in a really bad day. I think we need more context here. So let's check in with Bill Newlands, the terrific president and CEO of Constellation Brands, find out more about the quarter and how his company's holding up in a coronavirus world. Mr. Newlands, welcome back to Mad Money.
Thank you. Good to be here, Jim.
All right, Bill, I got to tell you, I read through the quarter, and the quarter was downright remarkable. And what was really incredible to me was there were a lot of people who said, you know what, the beer story's over. I'm starting to believe that the beer story's just beginning because the times are tough.
I think that's accurate. You know, one of the things you always see in tough times and recessionary times is people buy the brands that they trust. And when you think about Modelo and Corona and The Prisoner and Naomi and Kim Crawford, we have a lot of brands people trust, and that's what they go to in tough times like this.
Can you explain for people what happens in terms of at-home versus bars and restaurants that are closed? Because it seems to me that people don't drink beer wherever they are.
Right. You see a lot of channel shift, and you see this in many recessionary environments. Now, this one, admittedly, is a bit uncharted because one piece is really closed, which is the on-premise, as you know. But you do see channel shifting, and you see people buying more, and you see them consuming it at home. And given that 85 to 90% of our business across all three sectors is done in the off-premise, it really works to our advantage to some degree.
You know, I have to tell you, Bill, when I was going over the quarter, if it had not been for this tweet about essential, non-essential, I think the stock would have been up 10 points, and maybe even 15, on a really bad day for the market. So can you just explain what it matters, deemed non-essential versus essential, and the fact that you got enough beer on hand that we shouldn't even be thinking about this yet?
No, you shouldn't be, because we have over 70 days on hand between our DCs and our distributors. And as you know, in this country and in Canada and likely in Mexico, you see certain things deemed essential. In this country, alcohol beverage is deemed essential. And so the opportunity to continue to sell and to meet consumer demand is there, and we have the supply to do it.
Now, two exciting things. We now got the spiked seltzer. How's that going? You have a little read?
Oh, yeah, it's off to a great start. We already have ACV approaching 50% in the first month, which, given there were some challenges at retail this month, we're pretty happy with that. Velocity is going very well. It's improving week to week. We're very excited about the success of seltzer so far.
And then the other, your Canopy drink, I guess we can't get that here, right? And the edibles. But the edibles and the drinks, how are they selling? Because it looks like you were exactly what we thought, the last man standing. Nobody else really has any money in that business except for you now.
Right. We're well capitalized at Canopy. And I got to tell you, I was up there 6 weeks ago, and we tasted through the beverages, and I think they're game changers. They were outstanding. And having been in this business a fair amount of time, I think I have a reasonable palate, and they're superb. And I think they're really going to make a big difference for Canopy going forward. Okay,
just enlighten us on this, because I think that I was always worried, well, what's the proof? How many can you have? What's it like? Do people drink it at home? Because I'm worried that, frankly, I don't know how much it would take. Do I do 5 and I'm buzzed? Or I mean, how does it work?
Well, this is where brands are going to matter. And this is why the work that we're doing is all around the branding, because people want to have trust. It's the same thing I said a minute ago about Modelo and Corona, is people trust those brands. And they're going to want to have trust in brands that they consume in the cannabis space as well. And I think that's one of the main things that Canopy is going to bring, is that capability and that bankroll to be able to talk to consumers about why these are exceptional beverages, and why you can get a consistent experience time after time.
You got a new CEO there. He's a person we all know. He's a business person. How is he making that into a real business now?
He's bringing focus and discipline, which admittedly was one of the real things that was required there. So we're very pleased with what he's done so far. He's focused on getting Canada to profitability. He's focused on getting to cash flow positive. And we couldn't be happier with the start that David's had there. And as you said, he's an excellent business person. And we think that he's going to be a great leader for that business going forward.
Yeah, I'm sorry, this is David Kleinman. He used to be the CFO of Canopy and someone I got to know very well. And he's a fantastic business person, which is what that industry needs. Don't have a lot of them. Now, here, just a couple things. Modelo Especial, out of nowhere, number 4 brand?
It is. And you think about places like California, it is bigger than the next 2 premium domestic light brands combined. It's a huge brand in many critical markets. It's number 1 in Chicago. It's number 1 in the state of Nevada. This brand is just scratching the surface, considering that it is the number 4 brand overall in the United States.
And then Corona Premier out of nowhere.
Second year, we were up 19%. It's done extremely well again. And it really meets that betterment proposition that a lot of consumers are engaged with today. You think about it, it's low carb, low cal. This is what people are looking for. And it fits in a perfect niche with a brand that they trust in Corona.
And debt pay down, $1.4 billion for fiscal year 20, still giving, be able to pay down a lot of it. The flat cash flow is still great, right?
Cash flow, we had our best year ever in cash flow. As you know, when you're playing the premium end of the business, you're playing in the growth end, plus you're playing in the higher margin end, which gives us a great cash flow and allows us to pay down our debt.
Hey, let me ask a last question, but why do companies have to give guidance? There's no way you know what's going to happen. You got your business, you put your nose to the grindstone, and then why do we have to focus on some forecast when it may be depending on some doctor who solves a problem here?
That's right. When you look at our March has been superb, but some of that's obviously pantry loading, and you really don't know where it's going to land. We viewed it as risky to say too much because we study this very carefully. We know what happens in recessions, but it's uncharted waters. And we felt that rather than giving something that we had less than perfect confidence in, we'd be better off giving guidance later when we had a much better understanding of how things were going to work out.
Well, look, I appreciate you coming on. I wish it hadn't been such a bad day, this stupid tweet, because what matters to me is that you are building the base for a recession stock.
We're recession resistant, and
sure are.
That's good for our category.
All right, great to see you, sir. That's Bill Newlands,
Stay safe.
Yep, President and CEO of Constellation Brands STZ. It's what you buy when you're going into a recession. Mad Money's back in.
Don't miss a second of Mad Money. Follow @JimCramer on Twitter. Have a question? Tweet Kramer. #MadTweets. Send Jim an email to madmoney@cnbc.com or give us a call at 1-800-743-CNBC. Miss something? Head to madmoney.cnbc.com.